Hello everyone, thank you so much for watching this video. This video is all about planet Mercury. So which are the houses Mercury becomes weaker is what I'll be discussing in this video. So first and foremost thing, Mercury represents intellect, Mercury represents communication, Mercury represents creativity, Mercury represents sense of humor, Mercury represents business, Mercury represents astrology, Mercury represents correspondence, Mercury represents, leadership roles, getting into leadership roles, support from the superiors, support from the bosses, support from your friends, because Mercury represents friends. It can be boyfriends or girlfriends. Mercury represents romance. Mercury represents children. Mercury also represents influence, networking, traveling, philosophy, diplomacy, smartness. These are the keywords which represents planet Mercury. If Mercury is well placed in the birth chart, obviously you are very intellectual, you are very smart, you are very clever, you are very handsome if at all, you being a male native. If it is the female native, the person will be very beautiful and they have a very good sense of humor. They can able to attract the people very easily if at all you have strong Mercury in the birth chart. On the contrary, if Mercury is weaker in the birth chart, then obviously you will be always dependent upon others. You cannot able to take the quick decisions. You cannot be termed as a great manager. And you will not be able to attract the people, you will not be able to impress the people with your communication skills. That's because of weaker Mercury energy in your birth chart. So which are the houses Mercury becomes weaker is what I'll be discussing in this video. So Mercury becomes weaker in the second house, Mercury becomes weaker in the fourth house, Mercury becomes weaker in the seventh house, Mercury becomes weaker in the eighth house, Mercury becomes weaker in the 12th house. Why Mercury becomes weaker in the second house? Because second house talks about speech, second house talks about your childhood, second house talks about wealth. Okay, unless Jupiter is watching Mercury, Mercury can be able to provide it favorable results, but alone in the second house it will not be able to generate good results. So Mercury in the fourth house talks about vehicles, and also fourth house talks about real estate matters, fourth house talks about comforts, benefits. Mercury will not be able to provide it benefit results. And if Mercury is placed in the 7th house, so that may be really good for you to attract your spouse and also to get into a love marriage kind of relationship. But at the same time, there might be some kind of frequent misunderstandings because of communication if Mercury is placed in the 7th house. If Mercury is placed in the 8th house, there will be sudden downfall in the business. If at all this person is getting into any kind of business ventures that will not be able to run properly, and he will not be able to manage the businesses and also the team members, because his ideas will not be recognized and rewarded by the team members, and that will create a lot of communication problems, and there comes a lot of misunderstandings and conflicts with the bosses, superiors and business partners. So 8th house Mercury is really not good. And if Mercury is placed in the 12th house, that leads to business losses, tremendous expenses, liabilities, and bankruptcy. All these things generally happens if Mercury is placed in the 12th house. So rest of other houses, Mercury of course will be favorable. If at all Mercury is placed in these houses, and if Jupiter is watching that specific Mercury, then the malefic effect will be cancelled, and of course that will provide the positive results. But if at all Mercury is really not able, alone cannot be able to provide good results if at all it is placed in these houses. And also Mercury along with Jupiter can form a Raja Yoga called as Saraswati Yoga. So which is nothing but one of the yoga related to intellect, knowledge and wisdom. If at all it is placed especially in the 3rd house, 5th house, 9th house, 10th and 11th houses, that brings a lot of wealth, name and fame because of the knowledge and wisdom this person carries. People in fact recognize this person as a knowledgeable and intellectual, and people seek advices from this person. They can able to counsel any complex problems, they can able to derive the solutions for the complex problems if Mercury is well placed in the birth chart. And also along with the D1 chart, D9 chart which is Navamsha chart, and also the D10 chart, and if at all you are looking for the relationship, the D7 chart also to be analyzed to come into a final prediction pertaining to planet Mercury. If at all you are into a business, definitely Mercury's placement is very important because that determines the business angle, whether you have, whether it is fruitful for you, whether you become successful in business is what can be referred from the placement of planet Mercury in your birth chart. Especially first house Mercury is considered as very good because people who are into the business, especially first house, fifth house, 9th, 10th and 11th houses are really good, and also of course the third house Mercury plays a major role in terms of attracting the people with respect to communication and networking. Okay, so with that I'll conclude this video. Thank you so much for watching, and if at all you need my astrological consultation, please book for an astrological consultation. Not only about planet Mercury, I'll be discussing about all the 9 planets and I'll be providing you the final prediction pertaining to your individual birth chart based upon your date of birth, time of birth and place of birth. Okay, so this is just a general analysis pertaining to planet Mercury, but your individual placement of planets is also very important to be analyzed in the birth chart. Then only the final prediction can be prepared. Okay, so thank you so much. Please like, share and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to click that subscribe button. Don't forget to click that like button because that is very important for you, because if at all if I upload any new video, that will get notified to you once you subscribe to my YouTube channel. And not only about planet Mercury, I would have discussed about other planets in my YouTube channel. Please do browse those videos also, and please book for an astrological consultation. I'll see you in the consultation and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.